Hi YouTube. I hope you're all doing good. I'm okay. I got a little warm. I was outside moving around the picnic table and barbecuer and stuff grill. So Doug Kimmo, he finally got that. He had to take the whole deck off and cut chunks of metal out and to replace a belt because it's a double belt, and the guy did lie to him when he bought it, that it was all brand new under there. All he did was change the blades, but a lot of people are like that when they sell things. They don't necessarily tell the truth. I usually made more money by being honest and telling people. Like one time, I bought this truck, I think, for $500. It was a little Dodge Ram D50. They call them a half a Hemi. Um, so anyway, 6 cylinder. So anyway, and then there's a slant six too, but that used to be like in Dodges and those type. Okay, back to the truck. So it was white, and it had, in our state we put salt on the roads in the winter, and a lot of other states, or this icky solution we got now that's like slippery stuff, but that's another story. But anyway, so I took POR, which is paint over rust, and it's pretty expensive, but I had a little bottle, and it's like $150 for this tiny little bottle. But the minute you put it on anything that's rusty, it oxidizes with that iron that was rusting, and becomes a whole nother substance and stops the decay in its tracks. So I cosmetically fixed it up and took the time to do that. So when I went to sell it and I was telling this man about it, he had another truck just like it, and he wanted one for his wife. And he gave me like $900 or $1,000, something like that for it. So I almost like doubled my money just by spending a little time and making it pretty. So that was a good deal. But I mean, I was totally honest with them. The whole thing was what I paid for it. And I don't always tell people what I pay for something, because given any circumstance, it could have been more involved that they would never even grasp. There could be like 20 vehicles into one um, barter situation that have changed hands in our lives going on. So, yeah. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I'm honest with people, and I always come out on top in the long run, no matter even if they mess with me. It's like, all right. It's like, just don't bring your hell into my heaven, because I'm guarding the gate, you know? Um, I've been having some weird dreams lately that I wake up and I feel like I've been in God's presence, and He tells me a whole bunch of things, and then I wake up and I can't remember a darn thing, and I go about my day, but I still feel this little like push, like he told me things, and I don't even know what he told me, what I'm doing or not doing, but he told me them. And here I am, you know. It's just strange, and it's been like that for about a couple weeks now. So I don't know. You got me. So, but yeah, I've always felt like he's never let go of my hand, even when I did some stupid things. I might have had a deeper reason for it, and people might not actually know, but that's God knows. So, you know, if you know that God's always with you, no matter what you're doing, you're good to go. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks, you know. And I still know, like, if there were a good you and a bad you, or if you had a twin that was bad and you were good, and they could portray your energy. That's what's going on in this world with male and female dark force. That's what's going on. They are interfering with the male and female good force. And God sees it all. That's the Trinity. He sees it all. It's the four winds, it's the elements. He knows what's going on. It's like I told Doug when he was being naughty the other night. I said, I don't care. God sees it all. I go, you're sitting here acting like he doesn't. He shut up for a while, you know. But it's true. God sees everything we do, you know. Just like we can see and feel each other tap in or get glimpses. You know, that's the way our message system is like that, you know. So, yeah, I realize all that. But yeah, it is the energies coming together. And if you have willing participants and unwilling participants for the rulers on this planet in particular, um, say, take Biden for instance. Please, do you want him? We don't. Um, he is treasonous. He has made deals with us as a corporation without our permission and used our funds and took our funds, usurped our funds. And there's other, okay, it's just like, okay, for instance, there's a fund for the veterans that is literally, what they call it, like a lamb scheme, or it's, oh, there's a name for it. But they're taking the funds that are supposed to go to help the veterans get off the street, and they're taking their money and putting it elsewhere or using it or just taking it because the veterans are not getting the help that they need with that money from this organization. I might remember what they called it, but um, yeah, I've got the information. I just haven't looked at it yet. But I thought I'd throw that in there for today. You might hear it somewhere down the line too, or have. But yeah, I'm not big on military, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to see somebody go without what's rightfully supposed to be given them, you know. But then again, if they ever killed a child or a woman or an innocent person, I really, I mean, I'm not talking people on the battlefield. If they literally went in people's villages like they did in Syria, Afghanistan rather, and you know, a lot of the desert storm things, I can't really be too sympathetic with these people. I should say empathetic. That would be imply a closer connection. Everybody's sympathetic with these military because it's like if your sympathy, it's like virtue signaling, oh yes, I believe you. You're gonna put your life on the line for me. No, I don't believe that. Christ did that for us already. Nobody else does that for us. Nobody. He came down here, lessened his energy to walk along with us with that energy so it would be stronger in our bloodline to help us. And that's really quite a thing to go from being all knowing to putting yourself in a fog to walk along with mankind. That's that's very loving, you know. And I do believe that with all my heart. So, but there's good and bad energies. Let's put it this way: if the bad energies can't compromise, they will never be free. And if they can compromise with all their hearts, they can free themselves up. It is very simple. And once they compromise, they'll see that there wasn't any argument to begin with because there's enough for everybody. And everybody can have what they want. What's the big deal? Who cares? Then, if you really find a great tailor and a beautiful piece of cloth and or sew something yourself and can make the most magnificent dress or tailored suit or something, then that would actually be impressive to me. You know? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it it takes for me it takes a bit to read out loud, kind of from shyness and also having dyslexia, which I did overcome, but it's still reading out loud puts one more level of pressure on that situation, if you can relate to that. So, yeah. But I do it for you, you know. I figure if I can understand it and um, make it understandable to people, that it might be of some value. So, without taking the reading time, you know, I like that when somebody I trust, excuse me, please, will give me some information that's verifiable, and I trust them. So, you know, that they have already verified it, and I lived out there. I know exactly. I lived. My son was born in Roundup. If you look it up, Roundup, Montana is smack dab in the middle of the oil field out west. That's where it is. That's what we were doing when we were out there. My ex was working for a pool um, drilling, oil drilling company, and I was working for antique dealer. So, and taking care of my baby, I could take him to work with me, which was pretty cool. So, yeah. Till the oil field stopped like it did now, and the first housing in the industry went down because I had been working in the sawmill, and before I got pregnant. And then that went kaput, and we ended up having to move up north a little ways from where we lived in Montana to go work in the oil field. And I got a first job and got us a place. And we were living in a tent by a river for a while. It wasn't too bad, but it was a lot nicer when I got my apartment above from where I worked. And then when her house was vacant, a house she owned, I was able to rent that from her, and that was so nice. I had some really beautiful furniture before I had to move again, and only could fit so much on our vehicle. But yeah, because working in an antique store, I could have like my pickup. I had a Queen Victorian Siete. Ah, that thing was so beautiful. It was crushed pink velvet, and where I lived, I had a bay window with my plants in it, and I had my Siete right next to it, and so you could like sit and read or in the sunshine. It was so pretty. Big dining room, cherry wood dining room set. I mean, some nice things. But yeah, anyway, they were cane back chairs, if you know what those are. And I was going to invest in the kit and redo the cane on there, although most of them were perfect. There was like a couple. But if I did one, I would want to do them all. And it never had been refinished, but and there was 6 chairs with a captain or a king and queen chair type, and 4 of the regular with a couple of leaves in it, big square table. It was pretty. Not a mark on it, you know. Her husband would go like to oh antique shows like in Illinois and that type of thing. I grew up learning the value of antiques because my adopted mom, collected them. So wherever we went, I would like run in an antique store really quick. I would be looking for white or green milk glass for me, and my mom liked and I like brass stuff. But my mom would be looking for rose depression glass. It was there's some that they made and you can tell it's depression glass. It's all blowing all in one piece and it's seamless. And there's ones that, and it looks kind of smoky, like smoky rose quartz almost. And there's knockoffs that they make that, and some of that depression glass can be amber colored, but the rose was the most desirable. And then there'd be like light green and amber, like I say, and, or clear, which was the least desirable, except you could, if you get like the beginning of the depression glass, and it was something like really, like I have a sugar container that's depression glass, and it's cut crystal. So they blew it and then they cut it, and there's a like a star in the bottom of it. It's really pretty. So just, but anyway, with furniture and all kinds of old tools and everything, I'm really savvy, like on a lot of things. We have some like medieval glasses and stuff made out of silver and nickel, and they're carved, and some really old stuff that's like hammered. It's not tin, but it's actual like different metals and stuff, and like a gold cup, and some just really radical, very old things, like a 14th century knife, and oh yeah, just a few things that are pretty cool. Yeah. I don't, when it would take me literally too long to even show you even a smidgen of it. So I'm thinking someday a garage sale, but if I walk away from all of it, well, I won't be happy, but it won't be the first time, but it won't be for free. Everything comes with a price. you know. I hope I never feel that desperate, because I have before in my life. But one thing I won't do is let anybody get me to the point where I feel like my actual life is in jeopardy. If that happens, there's going to be a big problem. you know. Anyway, I decided to go without the light today because I had enough brightness just a while ago. So I was going to move it around last night while Doug was still working on that, but he mowed the front yard first, and I don't blame him. I would have too, but so I had to wait when he was ready to mow a spot where I could move it over, because it was literally over a foot high, which was pretty cool for all the flowers. There's like bluebells and um, daisies and brown-eyed Susans or black-eyed, whichever. And yeah, some all kinds of wildflowers out there that literally came up in the yard, seeded themselves, and, or the birds seed them. But I put oh, altogether, I think there was about 21,000, or maybe about 20,200 wildflower seeds that I put around my property at one point. So plus different plants that are established, and so all kinds of stuff. It'll be looking nice out there. I'll be able to, well, I want to get out and make a bonfire and probably sit out and shoot the breeze if the bugs aren't too bad. So they weren't today. Surprising, but the sun was pretty warm. So I'd say 75, but it felt like 80 in the sun and even hotter. So because I was working in it. So yeah, not a big deal. would have been when I was really sick and had my stroke. That would have been a big deal. Yeah, when I first started getting sick and couldn't even like help myself or none, I actually got gassed from my own house. We had this cooperative from Wisconsin called Burnett Dairy Cooperative come and do our pipes that are underneath our house from our LP tank. And they put water fittings. And so for about a year and a half, closer to 2 years, right where I was sleeping, the gas was coming up and literally poisoning my system. So that was the beginning of my cyanitis, my stroke, onset of severe allergies, and plus I had Morgellons from when they had given me the swine flu shot and a bunch of other things that happened, like broken bones and all kinds of. But actually, when I went a little crazy in my life, I literally was being driven crazy. So we really should have sued them people, but I did write it online so the community knew, um, this is what they did. And the dumbest thing we did is went in there to talk to them and we gave them the fitting. We should have, and we had somebody else come out and redo them all again. That was stupid. We should have kept that. And then we should have kept some from and got a statement from them other guys because they really did affect my health. So, and physical health will at times affect your emotional health, whether you want it to or not, you know. So you might have found that in your life. They do go hand in hand. If your body hurts, your mind will hurt. If your mind hurts, your body will suffer. So, speaking of that, I haven't done my exercises yet, but don't worry, I'm going to. Or I'll worry for you and I'll do them for us. How's that sound? Or you work enough on your own, you're tired and you don't want to hear my shit. Yeah, that's probably closer to the truth for some of y'all. So, yeah. So all in all, it's a beautiful day. And speaking of all, I was on Brucey's All live stream. Everybody over there is so nice. They really are. And if you're interested in viewing the sky, I mean, how many videos really, and he mentioned this is true. Do you see amateurs that use a 14-inch telescope? It's remarkable. Even when he's using a smaller one, he had a technique to get us up closer and show us more on the surface. And the UFOs that he's getting, none of his work gets enough attention. I mentioned this. I asked Rex Bear over on Leak Project, please check out my friend's channel. You'll like his work. You'll like him. So we'll see. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. But if he ever wants to meet an honest person that's doing astrology and ufology, that I would recommend Bruce's channel to anybody. And if you love good music, he can jam. He's our music man. And you get over there on the live stream, there's our Queen Darla, and there's Christy Lindsay, and Stats, and Sammy M, and Bo Anna, and Aless. I'm sorry, I don't, all of you, Kai I am, and I know I'm missing a whole bunch of you. I'm sorry. I'm just, you're in there. Beth, no, yes, all kinds of. If you're from there, say hi. That would be cool. I'd be it's nice to know who came over there because Bruce is so nice to have his mod share our links if we're regulars over there. He'll do that and try and make our channels a little bigger for us. So that's pretty super cool, you know. So, and everybody, like I say, is really, really nice. So, yeah. So, Peter Benton. Sorry, my friend. Yeah, how could I forget you? I didn't. I just talked to you. Yeah, I appreciate you very much. One night I was having a really crappy night and you wrote, "How are you? Hope I am well," or something. And I'm thinking, I'm horrible. I was going to write back. No. Or great timing. No, actually, I just gave you a heart and said thank you and sent some love, I think. Or told you to sleep tight, I think. So that you had just got home and we're going to watch one of my videos. So that's cool. Yeah, I thought I'd throw one of mine in really quick. Maybe it will get uploaded before people are over on Bruce's again, because I know, all of us have some of our favorites that we watch. So, yeah. There's a lot of people I used to watch that I'll watch their titles, what they're talking about, and just sort of ignore them. Not really ignore them. I mean, I acknowledge them. I um, pretty much they're not going they're not deep diving in the truth and the facts and like in real, like I'm talking to you like you're my friend. There's a lot of people. Well, if you're doing okay, say like if you're showing me what's up in the sky or something, I mean, I don't expect you to tell me what color popsicle you fed your kid or nothing, but what I do over on my channel is a whole lot different than what other people do. I'm kind of like more in the human psyche of it all, and digging into people's hearts and patching them up and gluing them back together type of stuff, like that. So, yeah. So, talking about everything is the best way to really go to open myself up so everybody knows who I am, where I'm coming from, and why, the who, what, and why of everything. So, well, I do appreciate you joining me. I had lost a sub and then I gained another one, so it's the same again. I did have one more last week, but I might have more again soon, hopefully. I think I can bring some pretty good stuff to the table that people might not have considered in different ways. I'm thinking I do that. So, okay, maybe I'm not even thinking, right? No, I know I do. I think a lot of you all. I really do. So God bless your night or day wherever you're at. Thank you for joining me. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.